scan again. Get more. Get them.
You right here, bro? Right here.
Thanks for stuff. How do you want to be on the street?
Rick.
Rick? Okay. Sheet 7 is Rick.
Is he right here? Yeah.
445.
445? Is that what you need to make it 5?
Okay, so I need 5 more to make it 5.
What's it? A whole bunch of bullets?
6?
Yeah,
6? You made all 6?
Yeah.
Maximum? Cashman good.
I didn't like chocolate pickle, but the other thing I had, the dealers aren't great.
Okay, hold on.
There were some good games.
Ready, get started. Nice picture. Photo bomb, Ed. Thank you. Get your ass out of the picture. Thank you. Smile.
You out here too?
Always with glasses, serious face.
You're here.
Thank you, photo bomb.
All the dangers out here. How you doing, bud? How was it too? Stop it.
Hey, how you doing, bud?
Hello. You don't stand for don't win. Do I need to draw or is it already drawn?
Oh, no, need to draw. Where's the rest of the cards? Did you guys draw for them?
Last seat.
3 is the only one left.
So is that Medi?
Medi's 3.
Okay. And this is
You're going to be 3.
Carlos for the middle. Yes. Good job. Okay.
I physically don't think I can feel like 10 people at this table. Besides the fact that you wouldn't have the cards for someone. It would...
What are you doing, man? Anything good?
How you doing? What's up, buddy? How are you? Good, how are you? How do you choose to do? How are you? Good. Carlos. Good to see you. O şapkalı var ya. Sen onu izledin mi? İlk ben kazandım. O muydu? Boşuna onun yaptı. İlk kere.
The 3-seat Medi. Medi. M-E-D-H-I.
Bunu. Oh, I'm dangerous. Yarın tek sattı. Sadece sigorta istiyorlar. O da ayrıca zorlanlar. Şey sigortası. Şey sigortası var. Kira sigortası. Şey çıkardılar.
Have you want to call you by that?
So it's really no, but when they tell me
Abi Mehmet yok. Ne kadar çek sokuyor? Mehmet. Ya nasıl çekiyorsun? Niye? Geçen gelen Mert'e başkasına verdi. Bizi ektiriyor abi bu arada. Dur vereyim hemen, dur vereyim abi. İşim bana istiyor böyle.
Ne istiyorsun Mehmet ya? Evet kardeş oldum. Paranı da aldın tabii kirayı geciktirmiyorsun. Geliyorum kapıya kadar.
Nasıl ya?
Ben utanıyorum. Vermek istemiyorum. Sen de alıyorsun işte.
Oldu biraz.
Ne yapıyorsun? Oyun başlıyor. Telefonları istiyorlar. Telefonları veriyorsun.
Hadi bay.
Hadi bay. Ararım şey o zaman. Hadi bay.
Turn this thing down. Oh. That's why I was şuraya oluyor ya. Herkes öyle yapıyor. Bak oraya böyle kadar edersin. Geçen buraya gelip kaybettik. Maybe.
Hey, D-Dub, I brought a really, really nice bottle of scotch to share with you guys. You like scotch? I brought a really, really nice bottle of scotch. Right behind me. Glenmorangie, 18 year, very, very, very dope bottle of booze.
Hamurun birkaç parçası değişecek. Birkaç parçası değişecek. Kaç para aldın? Ne yaptın? 13 aldım. Oh, 10 ise. Sevgilisi.
It's fine. It's fine.
Şeyi.
I can get him around. I'll get the bottle.
Are you gonna work with me?
I am.
Go home in 20 minutes. I'm excited.
That's good for you to a free drink.
What's up, 16K? Anything else you got those glasses, man?
I just need Sean's card. One more card.
Right here. I do
Ready to win.
Brian, your dealer?
No, sorry.
Brian bought an 18-year bottle of scotch that you guys are welcome to partake in.
Yes, please.
So, when
Drinking in style.
when you say you want the scotch, this is what they want
20 minutes.
for the next 20 minutes. Who's replacing you then, Amber? Whoever it is, tell them that. For this table.
Yeah. Sure.
Six I was running up though. I have to watch a little bit.
Nice one.
You're only missing your buzz.
Cell phone, Joe.
Your
Cell
buzz?
phone.
But it's not. Yeah. I mean, it was like 4:45. We were
Not even par. 15% par.
We're good?
I just thought I was such a strong bet. And then, I wanted to look so good on the screen, like this guy's such a
dinner most of the time. I was like,
Membership. I need a membership for D-Dub needs a membership too.
There was no miscommunication.
Need a membership as well. All three of these gentlemen. How many hours on that one? I don't know until you ask me. All three of these gentlemen.
If I'm not sure on hours, then add. That's why they were never hoping somebody would say, yeah, I can't make it.
Rick needs a membership as well.
$10 for a membership. And I tell everybody just buy 5 for $55 right now. You're already good at time? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he plays it.
$30.
I got you. What you recommend? The membership.
Why don't you let him do that on Friday?
One night I'll let y'all look by himself.
And I'm collecting tips for production. You know, take the time to put.
Hey, Brian, hang tight a second before I finish.
Here, this is him.
What'd you say, Ed?
Hang tight.
Because you okay.
I bought another BMW. I bought another BMW.
Is that the one up front?
Remember I was gonna buy a Camaro or a Charger? Yeah. Or Challenger? I just bought a BMW.
You have one of the BMW. Why you have
Another one.
Which one?
It's a small one. It's a 335i.
For the
600 horsepower. It's all modified and everything.
From Dallas, Texas, welcome to Poker House Dallas, Poker House Live, impromptu Monday night poker, 5, 10, 25 hold'em, back-to-back days, 5, 10, 25, our biggest game here at Poker House Dallas. Gonna have a nice little juicy game for you guys tonight. Lineup includes Mustafa, Hayden, Habib, OFC, Carlos Cortez. We got Dwayne Hicks in the lineup. Rick Alvarado, amongst a cast of other characters. I'm Eddie, the Asian sensation, in the booth tonight. Going to be running lead commentary and production. Got Kim Stone in the booth. Going to be jumping in here in just a minute. Look forward to having you guys all in the chat tonight. Again, a nice little 5, 10, 25, kind of running it back from last Friday. Some of the same characters, some new ones. Gonna start this stream off with a flip. Min buy-in 3K, max buy-in 5K. Match to stack as soon as these players want to get into the mix. We got Carlos, Bao, Rick, Hayden, OFC, Dwayne, Galoo, also known as Mehdi, Mustafa, and Habib. Gonna be action-packed, gonna be fine. A fun night. Matt Professor with the chop saying liking the Asian sensation commentator. We got 2 Asians in the booth. We got Texas Kim Stone, myself. Again, she'll be in here just a few minutes. Had an interesting turn of events for this evening. There was supposed to be a couple players that joined from the stream last week that backed out, but they thought they were still in. So I had to fill seats this morning, kind of emergency fill-in seats, and then 2 of the players showed up. And so we actually, while we got started a bit late, some of the players thought they had a seat when they did it. So apologies for that, but still have a good, nice little lineup. Flip won by Habib with jacks, a set of jacks. Kim jumping back in the booth here with me. Gonna get it going here tonight. Let's get you all mic'd up here. You need to take the earrings off? Yeah, just trying to help you out. All right, for those of you that don't know, I'll say this throughout the night. Kim's jumping in the booth, gonna be my special guest commentator tonight. Tonight's going to be a special Ask Kim segment about some poker stuff, advice. All right, Kim, let's get you mic'd up. Let's turn you on. Here we go. All right, Kim's live now, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, hello, everybody.
I got Poker Monkey in the chat. I got Frank in the chat. Matt Professor, TLS, Cup, Mark Wee, Nick Chin, all the way from California. How do I get an invite into the game? I know a guy that manages. I know a guy that manages the lineups, Nick.
For Asian players, seat open.
Seat open. Always a seat open. What's that? All right, that's really weird. A little bit of a graphic issue here, but
What are we playing? 3-card stud or 7-card stud?
I don't know what's going on here, but we'll find out after this hand.
Pineapple?
Looking like Rick with the best of it here.
How can you tell? They have 3 cards.
Yeah, this is interesting. So hopefully it resolves itself after this hand. Bao gonna get into this.
Hi, Poker Monkey. Hi, Nick. Mad Professor. Nice to see you guys in the chat. Thank you so much.
Unfortunately, Matt Professor, we don't know Danish in the. All right, so interesting first hand. So I'm not sure what's going on with the graphics here. Gonna let it see if it resets and squares up after this hand. All right.
Somebody says, nice win last night, Kim. I think you're thinking of the other Asian.
Yeah, that
Kitty.
was Kitty. The wrong KI
But I
Asian.
appreciate the confusion.
All right, I know some of you guys are tuning in specifically just for Kim. So, again, she's offering some special advice tonight. So if you're interested in some poker advice, moving up in stakes or whatnot, ask away, shoot away.
We're having some technical difficulty, as you can see, with the 10-8-5 and the Ace-King-Queen still being shown. So I think we're going to fix this right up. I always think it's funny. I wish you guys could see all the commotion that's going on behind the scenes as they scramble around to try to correct some stuff. But I'm very excited to commentate with my best friend, the Asian sensation. It's very difficult for me to say. And Dory, I see your super chat there. That's awesome. Dory Coyle says, love you guys. Go Hayden. She's making a limited appearance before her favorite football team is about to play in the playoffs. I hear that Cowboys have difficulty closing things out, so I'm pulling for you guys. Go Cowboys. Mad Professor, table selection. Would Kim select this table? 100%. I built this lineup. I absolutely love it. A lot of action players, a lot of really solid players. Oh my gosh. It's very pretty. Don't know what's going on that screen, but
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's a bomb card flip, or it's a PLO flip. I'm not sure what's going on with the graphics. I'm going to give it one more hand and see if it fixes itself.
otherwise you'll have to start it over. No start overs. We're still stuck. That's the same board that's been up there for a while, so that's not good. Yes, that's a flop. Very, very, very, very old. You know, we're 3 or 4 hands with the same flop. Are we going to lose everybody?
No, we're not going to lose everybody. We're going to lose the action.
All right, that's fine. We'll catch up. This is what happens when you guys get in at the ground floor. The path towards greatness is a lot of ugliness first. Dory, important question. Would you prefer that Hayden wins some cash money tonight or the Cowboys win this playoff game? Which is more important? Ooh, tough one. Let's see where your loyalties lie. Just kidding. Don't answer that. Oh man, this is looking more complicated than we thought. All right, let's start with the first Ask Me Anything question while we are trying to figure this out. Early arrivals.
There's a new update.
So do they have to? No,
They don't
just,
do anything different.
okay, we're just 15 minutes behind. Okay. But do we lose those first few hands?
We do.
Okay.
We did lose the first 15 minutes of play.
Eric's going to update us
Yeah,
on what
let me
happened.
just explain to the viewers real quick. Hi, guys. There was a
hello.
GFX update
Sorry.
today that I just installed before we started streaming, and this glitch was supposed to be fixed, and it didn't get fixed. So unfortunately, we're going to lose the last 15 minutes. Good thing is it's about 5 hands, and we didn't lose a lot of hands. There wasn't a whole lot of action. There wasn't any 5-way all-ins or anything like that.
Oh,
They're
darn.
just kind of getting warmed up. They're not even straddling yet.
Okay.
They, I think maybe OFC said, let's do a round of no straddles. So they're kind of taking it easy right now. They're not going crazy just yet. So those 15 minutes, nothing crazy happened yet. So that's what we lost. They could just get another 15 minutes of Ask Kim Anything.
Okay.
All right.
Do it.
I'll send Eddie back.
Dory Cole says, I think Hayden might have a better chance, but she's pulling for the Cowboys. All right. Anybody got to ask me anything? Strategy question, poker related question? What do you guys got for me? I'm just in here by myself, twiddling my thumbs. I have my baby blanket on my lap because for once it's freezing cold in here. The last few times it's been burning hot and I've been melting. And today, of course, I dress a little bit more flimsily and I'm freezing. Kim Stone, what are your thoughts on late regging for tournaments? Oh, so that's an interesting question, actually, because I used to advocate for arriving on time. I truly believe that winning chips can happen in hand number 1. So if you believe you're better than the field, then you should show up for hand number 1 and try to take as many chips throughout the tournament as possible. And people, you guys know that people are capable of punting their entire stack in hand number 1. So you should be there to catch punts. You can't catch punts if you're not at the table and you don't have chips in front of you. So I think that strategically, if you can emotionally handle it, if you can financially handle the potential swings of busting out in hand number 1, if you have the time relative to like your family and job and whatever else, you should be there for hand number 1. But I recently started late regging tournaments, max late regging these large fields. I felt like my value at a cash game, my hourly is much better. The variance is obviously better. So I would, like for the Saturday tournaments at TCH, I would play a cash session and then max late reg at like 2:30 or whatever time it is, and just get my 20 big blinds and gamble and try to spin it up. So I definitely think that I can play a 20 big blind stack perfectly in that moment, and if I double up right away, then I can play the rest of the tournament strategically and try to win. So I think that there is value in late regging if you know how to play a shorter stack well, and you know you're fine with a little bit of higher variance because you are going to be flipping for your tournament life a lot of times in that type of scenario. Okay, let's see. What else? Poker Monkey says, Kimmy, regarding 2-5, how do you handle loose aggros who raise $30 every hand? Seems like they might not have a strong hand. Many times they don't. Okay, so I think that you don't handle anyone like at a poker table. You just like go in and you play your game. You play situations if situations arise, and you play individual players should you get hands and opportunities and positions and stack sizes and whatever the case may be. You take some strategy in how you deal with it in the moment, but you shouldn't be running into like a table like that and have a plan. You need to go with what is given to you in the moment. Like when you sit down at a table and you are just gauging what's going on, your expectation should just be pretty minimal. Like you know that there's going to be some differences in the game relative to 1-2 or 1-3 or whatever you might be used to playing. And so if you're stepping up in stakes and you're playing 2-5, you know it's going to be a different game, different bet sizes, different tendencies. But in general, you're loud. There you
Sorry.
go. In general, your strategy should be built based on the actual individuals at your table, the 8 players at your table. You just need to go with what develops. Like sometimes you just get 7 deuce every hand. You can't do anything with 7 deuce, and you shouldn't be in a cash game. You need to take each opportunity as it presents itself and make the best decision in every moment against every opponent. So you shouldn't have a plan or a strategy in place until you know exactly what you're getting yourself into, which player, what stack size, what hands you have, what hands you think they have. It's just about living in the moment. Poker, I believe, is a one hand at a time game. And it's crazy to say that. I think if you guys really want to elevate your game, you just live in the moment, hand to hand, and you refine the decisions that you make in each individual hand as they come. Was that okay? Sorry, I feel rambly.
No, that's the whole purpose of tonight. You can ramble on as much as you want.
I know, they get this extra...
Don't ask questions about live tails. The answer is going to not be answered.
Oh, yeah, they haven't done that. They might know by now.
Yeah. So, Mad Professor coming in with the question. So, if playing large with good hands is required, then flexible and play... I'm not sure I understand that question, Mad Professor.
So, if playing large with good hands is required, then be flexible and play large or whatever. You have 200 characters. Let's try to clarify your question.
Yeah.
I'm happy to answer it if I can understand it.
So I'm assuming you got the Poker Monkeys question. You asked.
Jwin is four in chips with 6 left.
Yeah.
Let's go, Jwin. It was really nice having him on the show.
Yeah, it was funny because I texted him yesterday, and I knew he would. I texted everybody about 1:30 p.m. yesterday, and he's like, I may not make it if I make day 3. He's like, if I don't make day 3, I'll make it, because he was kind of a last minute addition to Friday's stream from a recommendation, one of our friends, Jose Montez and Chris Larkin. And he said, if I don't make day 3, I'll definitely make it down. But if I make day 3, I probably won't make it down. So happened he made day 3, came into day 3 as a chip leader. This is his third tournament, his first WSOP tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was telling me he's played a couple of the lodge tournaments, like down there when they have their big series type of thing, and he's played a few of those. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good
track record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, you got the next question right about.
I did Poker Monkey's question too.
Okay.
That was the long explanation of don't have a plan until you sit down and.
Okay, so I think he's asking, do we flex with big bets if needed? I'm not sure. I still don't understand the question.
I think it's a question regarding bet sizings.
Okay.
But I will need some clarification on what we're talking about. I would hate to give advice and you go and take it and you'd be like, oh, well, Texas Kim said.
Yeah.
And then I misunderstand.
One of the things you and I kind of talked about today about moving up in stakes from 1 to 2-5. I came into the tail end of your quote unquote ramble. So, did you kind of address that issue or not?
You mean just strategies for?
Yeah, no, just stepping up. Like, what are some recommendations?
Why don't you just ask me a question?
So here you go. If there's a player that's kind of starting to take poker more seriously, they're grinding it at the 1-2 streets. What are three pieces of advice that you think is the most 3 important pieces of advice for making that jump from 1-2 to 2-5, whether that's mentally, their game specifically, bankroll, your top 3 suggestions?
Okay. I don't really have 3 prepared answers.
Right.
So let me just try this. Okay. I think that if you are thinking about... I think he's asking about coffee.
Just tell him Eddie's coffee. Yeah, no.
So I think that there's a couple things when you're rising up in stakes. One big question I want to ask when someone says is I'd like to start playing 2-5. My question is why? Why are you trying to step up in stakes? Is it because you want to increase your hourly potential? Because you just want to elevate your game to where you're more comfortable playing that particular stakes, or because the 2-5 action is so great? The wonderful thing about Texas poker is that the 1-2 and 1-3 no limit games are excellent here. So you can actually make an extremely solid hourly playing the lowest possible stakes in Texas, which is not something you can say anywhere else. In Las Vegas, in California, if you are grinding 1-2 and trying to beat the rake as well as the potential hourly you can make, you're still grinding like maybe a $15 to $25 an hour job. And that's, you're just not going to get very far with that. You still can pay some bills and whatever, but it's just not necessarily sustainable as a career to play at that particular level. But in Dallas especially, I would venture to guess your hourly could be really solid.
Yeah.
Do you want to share what your hourly is currently? I know it's pretty good.
Yeah, so
just for this year.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, it's obviously a small sample
it's
size.
a small, super small.
But what's your hourly? And you've said you mostly played 1-2.
I played mostly 1-2. I am
some
up,
mix and
I'm
whatever.
Up for the year, not including tournaments, but I'm up $4,826 in my hourly. So I've cashed 15 out of 21 times, so 15 out of 23, but 2 of those sessions were 2 losing sessions on 15-30 mix and then 30-60 mix.
Just the hourly.
The hourly was $65.
$65 an hour?
Yeah.
Solid. See, that's a very much an above average job.
Yeah.
So above average income. That's very impressive. As you know, I'm not going to get into the details, but my hourly at 2.5 last year was a lot higher. But the game and the variance and also the type of bankroll that you need is a lot more for this game. So the basic gist of what I'm trying to say is that you don't really need to raise up in stakes until you're absolutely ready. But when you are ready, and if you do want the challenge and you do want to, maybe you have like a really great bankroll or a really great job and you actually want to play a stakes where the money matters. Like there's a lot of you who actually might not be, how would I say this? Like, skill level ready for 2.5, but you are.
Sorry, somebody said they can go get us our stuff if they want us to.
What was I saying? I'm sorry. So you might not be at the skill level ready to advance your game to 2.5, but financially you don't really want to play in a game that's only a $100, $200, $300, $400, $500 buy-in. You want to play for larger stakes. So what I would recommend in that regard is to just try doing a challenge. I think I'm actually going to run out of time, and I don't want to overdo this, but we can revisit this if this topic is of interest to you. I have a couple ideas for bankroll challenges and for low stakes players elevating their game to mid to high stakes, and in a way to challenge yourself without busting your bankroll or spending tens of thousands of dollars to try to rise up in stakes. So if you guys are interested in that, bring back this topic next time we do Ask Me Anything.
So we're going to go ahead and switch over to the live stream right now. Transition over. Let's go.
Oh, no. It's still the same thing.
It's still doing it. I don't know what's going on with it. Give me 1 second.
Okay. You do this, and I'm going to go tell him. Okay?
Yeah. I think there's Eric was saying there was a issue with a software update, and so not sure what's going on with the screen as it is. It's never done this before, so it was not doing this early today. So for one reason or another, still locking up from that original hand from earlier today. But as we get into the action, I want you guys to I'll kind of tell you a little bit about my journey with poker. So I've been playing for just a pinch over 2 years now. Now the first 12, 14 months, I punted. I didn't know anything. I was, not to get too personal, was going through divorce. So use it kind of as an outlet to get away from that. Became very good friends with Kim and Hayden, and they saw a lot of my potential. And so, yes, Nick, we're going to guess the whole cards. I don't know what's going on internally, my first. Yeah. So, talk about a little bit of my, we're going to switch, guys. Sorry about all this. This is.
I'm going to make it a 1 minute delay to see if I can fix it.
Okay.
I'm going to switch out.
Okay, guys, I'm super sorry about this. I'm going to put down a 1 minute delay just to see if I can fix something. And, ooh, minute delay is exciting. I'm going to change it back if this doesn't work. Hold on just a second. While they get done with this hand. Like I said, I just did a new update, and the new update has what we call unintended consequences, and it messed up something else. So I'm going to put down a 1 minute delay just to test it. If it doesn't fix it, I'm going to have to restart, go do chip counts, and start over like it's a brand new night. Okay, it didn't fix it. All right, secure delay. Yes, I want it turned off. Okay, I'm going to exit out of this, and I'm going to have to exit out of this.
So we lose the chatters.
Nope, we won't lose the chatter. We're still going. They will right now just see this blank screen.
Oh.
So we're still going. They see us still. They see this blank screen, and I'm going to pull it up and start brand new with the GFX server. I'm going to restart that. I'm going to leave it on 1 minute at first to see if it works. I don't want to sit here for 15 minutes and have it not work.
Got it.
So I'm gonna say, wait. All right, let's do this. Secure delay. Yes. Okay. Secure delay. Clicking no will clear the previous delayed stream. Okay, so no. All right, now we're good. Okay. Now.
You know that 2 of the 35 loyal viewers are my parents. I'm just kidding. That's only 1, actually. So that's good.
All right. So what we're going to do here to test this, I've got it on a 1. I had to restart everything. I put it on a 1 minute delay. We still have Streamlabs running, so we're still running all of this live. We're not going to, our viewers won't have to go search for us. They'll stay here.
Good.
They'll stay here on that
They're
link.
just
All
getting
the links will be accurate.
This beautiful
Yeah,
scenery of
just the first half hour is just going to be countdown, talk to Kim, which is not a bad thing.
I know. I was rambling and I cut myself off. I could have continued my ramble.
All right. Now, in 15 seconds, if we pop up and everything's working great, then I will turn off the delay, change it to 15 minutes, turn the thing back on, and then you'll have 15 minutes to talk to them again. All right. Now, fingers crossed.
Oh,
That looks
only
different.
2 cards.
That looks different.
2 cards is good.
All right, perfect. I'm going to turn this off now. This was what happened 1 minute ago. This is actually, they just finished that hand. All right, now I'm going to go in here. I'm going to change this to 15 minutes and click on secure delay again. Yes. Okay. Now, in 15 minutes, you're going to get the actual what we want to get. Okay?
Amazing. Yeah. Alrighty then. Okay, so someone said I liked Brian Wild as starting bankroll for 1-2. I think it really depends on what part of the world you're playing 1-2 in. But what I always tell people is take 3 buy-ins, 2 to 3. But if you're taking the game seriously, I would suggest no less than 3 buy-ins. If you're just kind of like really starting out and you're not sure about your game, giving yourself a stop loss of 2 buy-ins is totally fine. But if you want to have like a solid chance at making money session to session, you need to be taking 3 to 5 buy-ins to every game you play. So for 1-2, let's say the max buy-in is $500. You need to be taking $1,500 to $2,500. I just say 5 because sometimes your first 2 or 3 bullets you run bad, and then you sit there with your 3rd or 4th. And it's not even about that you would go through all 5 bullets in a session ever, but it's just that the knowing and the subconscious that if you need it, it's in your pocket and you're ready to go. I think that is just a great thing for your mind to just know that if a bunch of crap happens and the game is really good and you know that you cannot even afford to leave this game because it's so juicy, then you want to have like five buy-ins in your pocket. So that's my recommendation for starting bankrolls. It's not about the 20 buy-ins. I mean, 100 buy-ins or whatever. I personally think for live poker, it's a little crazy to, have such a high standard for these cash games. They're just like, they play really deep. And, I'll just tell you right now, I don't have, what's the buy-in for? I mean, it's like 5K. If you had 100 buy-ins, I need, it's really just kind of dependent on your skill level and what you feel comfortable with. But as a starting player, I do recommend taking two minimum, 3 to 5 bullets with you every time you play. What else we got? Anything else? 10 more minutes. I can definitely talk a little bit more about the stepping up your game. Mad Professor says, when do you know when to quit a session? That's really a great question, and it's super simple. You need to just ask yourself, like, a great time to do it is at dealer changes. I used to have a checklist in my phone when I first started playing, and I was trying to take the game seriously. I would ask myself, how am I feeling? All right, I'm really pumped to be here. I'm excited to play poker. I feel good about the game. I want to be here. All right, how's the game? How's the lineup? How are the players at the table? Is this a good game? And if the answer is yes, then you stay. If the answer is no, then you leave. You either table change or you leave. And then you ask yourself, is my mindset good? Like, I am happy to be here. I'm not tilted. I don't have like a bunch of things weighing on my mind that I got to get done. I am prepared to sit and grind this out. Then you should stay. And then just like your overall physical sense, like I'm not tired, I'm not hungry, I'm not any of these things, then you should stay. If any of the answers to these questions are negative, like I'm hungry, I'm tired, you need to leave. It doesn't matter if you've been there an hour, it doesn't matter if you've been there 8 hours, it matters like your mindset. And it's so important because the reality is that poker is available to you 24/7. So for you to stay, under less than optimal circumstances is you donating money to everyone else who is playing under optimal circumstances. So I just recommend that you guys really think that through. And I know I think table selection is a massive part of a winning strategy. A lot of times you sit your butt in a chair and you're just like, forget it, I'm not moving. Everyone else can move around and do their things or whatever. But like, if your table is not great, if there is a smelly guy to your right, or if there is, shoot, I don't even know.
I had to call the
an
Ford
annoying
WSOP
player
event.
behind you that's just jibber jabbering in your ear and won't shut up. Like, feel free to seat change. Feel free to table change. Get away from those little annoyances, because those are things that, are going to affect your play.
It looks like you've been getting some pretty nice questions. And
Oh, what kind of bankroll challenges would you recommend a 1-2 player start with? Oh, so that was revisiting the last one.
We got 7 minutes.
Any shorter. Oh, yep. Captain Under Pairs wants the same bankroll challenge question. Dealer change is a great idea. Time to reevaluate the game. Yes, exactly. And a lot of times they have the bomb pots too. So if you are not great at bomb pots, then you can just pack it up and not play the bomb pot. If you're good at bomb pots, then you can stay and play the bomb pot, and then you can pack it up afterwards. It's just a great time to reevaluate the table, reevaluate your situation. It happens every half an hour, and so it's just a great time to just check yourself. Check all the boxes. How am I feeling? I'm feeling great. How am I feeling? I'm feeling hungry. Then leave and go get some food. It's like seems so simple, but I feel like we don't do that. We just blow over whatever, taking care of our mind and body. So, hold on one second.
okay.
Breathing while talking is probably good, huh?
Yeah. Trying to get all in one breath.
Yeah. Those are nice things that you told me. Okay, so bankroll ideas. When there's like a lot of them, and you can look up tons of the professional poker players talk about them. But the one that there was a simple one that I used to do when I was playing 1-3 no limit in California. It was a 300 max buy-in, which is absolutely insane.
That's horrendous.
I used to make over $100 an hour in this game when I was a dealer, and you were allowed to like EO play. So I would deal a few hours, and then I would put myself in the EO list, and then I would go back out there and I would play. And I was making over $100 an hour in this game, and it was a capped buy-in. You can never buy in for more than 300, which was great for me when I was like kind of starting out and trying to play poker professionally, or like kind of like as a side job, because obviously I was still a dealer as well. I couldn't lose more than 300 at a time. So that was interesting. But I could blow through $300 like it was nothing.
Right.
In the
Touche.
sense that like
Same thing in Texas.
Same thing. Like, I mean, there was times where you were all in with the nut flush draw for $300, or you had top set and someone else had the nut flush draw. You're going to be all in for 300 a lot. So obviously the variance for that particular 300 was high, but at the same time, if you could have 5 bullets, that's $1,500.
Right.
That was 5 bullets went a long way there.
Yep.
So I turned my 5 bullet rule into, a pretty consistent income when I was first starting out. So I think that for you guys, like, if you are like trying to take poker more seriously, this 5 bullet rule is a great rule when you're first starting out. Like, how much should I be losing in one session? I think that you should never be losing more than 5 bullets. I think even like 3 to 4 bullets, you should be probably asking yourself if things are going well. If you can still check all the boxes that the game is great, my mindset is great, I don't feel bad that I've lost these bullets, I've played them my best, all those things, then you keep sticking it out. But if you can't answer yes to all the boxes, you should never be investing the 3rd, 4th, and 5th bullets, right? I
remember one time when I played the Saturday 100 $500 buy-in tournament down the road. Is that? Here. No, you're fine. Here. Anyway, so I'd ask you one time if you think I should fire a fourth bullet, and you asked me 3 questions. You said, "How well did you play?" I said, "I thought I played well."
Oh yeah,
Did
I
you
remember this.
Yeah. Do you think you can play better than the last bullet? I'm like, yes. She's like, and then you asked, do you think you can win this? And I said, yes. And you were like, go get in line and register.
Yeah.
So.
For sure. And that was a tournament thing, but it goes the same way for cash games too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you change strategy when you build a big stack?
That's a good question. I really like that question, Matt Professor.
Okay, it is a great question, but it's a very easy answer. The answer is no.
Yep.
So here's my thought on that. And it's interesting because Hayden and I actually had a similar conversation. And so you're talking about a professional poker player that, has potentially a different strategy. I told him that if your chips are in front of you and you are changing the hands you play, the way you play your hands, the types of hands you're calling with, the types of hands you're bluffing with, based on how your chip stack is, and not based on your opponent, not based on what you're trying to accomplish hand to hand, then you need to cash those chips out and go. Because the reality is that you shouldn't be playing scared because you have a lot of money, and you shouldn't be playing more aggressively because you have a lot of money. You can play more aggressively if players are fearing you more because they see how good you're running and they're trying to stay out of your way. You should run over that table and you should put those chips to work. But I've seen players that have like ace king suited under the gun and they're like about to rack up their chips and they're like, I'm just
gonna fold.
I'm just gonna fold because I don't want to get involved before I leave. Well, why didn't you leave the hand before? If at any moment in time you are going to play your chips differently and you're gonna play, pardon me, I'm drinking soda and the carbonation is getting to me. If you're gonna play your hand differently because of the profit or the stack sizes, or because you're losing and you're just like tired of losing and you don't want to lose anymore, you should just leave.
Right.
Instantly. You need to leave right away. And I will tell you that I have learned this lesson the extremely hard way. I have definitely overplayed hands because I've been racked up and ready to go. And I was like, screw it, I'm all in spots that I should never be all in, just thinking like, oh, I'm going to get the credibility that I have or whatever. And I'm playing my hand differently because I'm about to leave a winner. Or I'm playing my hand differently because I'm about to be a loser. There was one time where I had pocket fours under the gun. I didn't limp with it. I didn't raise with it. And I was just like, oh, I'm about to leave. I should just fold it. I'm never going to play, what am I going to do with pocket fours? I have to flop a set in order to win a bunch of money. And I watched the rest of the hand and I flopped a set and stacked aces and kings or whatever it was. Just a huge, huge hand. And it's just like, if you weren't willing to put your chips to work and to the best of your ability in that moment, then you should just leave because those chips are there to do a job.
Agreed. I like Dory's question. What do you think about topping up or like matching the stack? So like obviously in 1-2, Dory's from the Dallas area. For those of you that are not familiar with Dory, she's in the Dallas area, and so our 1-2 500. The 1-2 games have 500 cap at some of the rooms here at Poker House. R25 has a 1500 cap, and then at TCH there's a match stack. So talk about that in terms of topping off or matching the stack, but definitely topping off. All right. I think we're good now, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going to pick up this hand wherever we were.
Let's definitely revisit that, Dory. And anyone else who wants to remind me of that question. Topping up in Dallas is a really great question. It is a tough decision to make, like how much to top off, whether to do it at all, et cetera, et cetera. So match the stack is a different animal altogether. Well, we see Habib's hand, Mustafa's hand, a flop, and Hayden's in there. We don't see any cards or anything.
Let's double check. Cross my fingers. This has never happened before, so
this is a extreme crash.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Let's see what happens here.
I was hoping it was like 10-9 specifically. I was like, I need 10-9 and like back 10 and that's it. So I was like, my name is
And Mad Professor, I do not hate getting dealt aces while racking up. I hope they deal me aces every time my chips are in a rack.
I don't know what's going on. Can you grab Eric, please?
Oh no.
I don't know. This is really frustrating, guys. This did not happen last night. I think we're going to switch it to a 5-minute delay. I don't know what's going on. Still stuck. Switch with me. Change it to change the delay.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I'll come out there and take over.
Well, the interesting thing is the programmer from Australia just texted me. He says, looks like some weird stuff is going on. And I said, yes, that new update is messed up. And so he's watching it. Weird. I usually don't do updates on the day I'm gonna stream, but you know, yeah, I was like, okay, no problem. Let's just do this. I'm gonna test something. Secure delay. To keep playing the previous stream, click yes. I'm gonna say no. Okay.
Wow, you guys are absolutely amazing for sticking with us. I really appreciate it.
So at least, are you guys at least going max camera so they can see you when they talk to you or not?
I think so.
Okay,
I really
like
don't know.
right
I
up here?
hope you're...
Oh, let's go to transition like this so that they can see all this good stuff. All right, guys. Yeah, Aaron, it was a blue screen. We, now, I was just telling Kimmy, I don't know if you guys could hear me talking. The software developer, the programmer, came out with a new update today. He actually texted me. He's watching our stream, and he says, looks like some weird stuff is going on. And so he fixed something, but when he did that, he messed something else up. So can you guys hear us talking or no? Yes? Yeah? My stuff's moving on this side. So I imagine you guys can hear us. Party people.
Hey, Tammy.
Party people. All right. So this will just be a couple of minutes while we get our new countdown. Yeah, you can hear us. All right. Darren's in the chat saying he can hear us. Okay.
Audio is fine. All right. Well, that's good.
Excellent. Audio's fine. Video's great. I mean, we could trade places so they could see you more instead of me.
It's okay.
It'd be better for them, for sure.
Well, I think, fortunately, a lot of people are enjoying the strategy questions, so that's good. But I did want to talk. Dory, are you still in the chat? I did want to potentially talk about the matching the stack and topping up.
Yeah.
If you guys are ready for that, let's see. How's the action though out there? You've been on an action tracker. Good.
I want to tell you it's super boring and you didn't miss anything, but that's a lie.
Unfortunate. Oh no.
That's a lie. It's.
Thank you, Tammy. That's
the
very
first 15 minutes. It was kind of they were
mellow.
Feeling everything out.
Every time I walk out there, there's tons of chips in play.
Oh my goodness, it's so crazy. There was a one hand. Habib has like 10K now.
Awesome.
He shoves on. So he bets like, I'm gonna make up numbers that are close. He bets like 700, and Bao calls him, and OFC jams for like 3,000. and Habib goes all in for like 45, whatever his stack was, and Bao snap calls.
Okay, so 3 players all in.
And well, no, because OFC's like, what's going on? He only had 1,500 behind. He raised it like 3,000, has like 1,500 behind. He's like,
what do I do?
I mean, you jam, you snap call. I can never be good here. And he sits there and tanks for, I want to say 60 seconds, 90 seconds. Finally folds. I don't know what he had. Habib has Broadway. Bao has a 5-high flush draw. Misses. Habib gets all the money. He buys back in. OFC never did say what he had. So I don't know if, I don't know, maybe pair and a flush draw or whatever, because without the flush hitting, Broadway was a nut. So I guess he's like, he's probably thinking, why did I just put 3K in there and have to fold for my last 1,500?
We can all just anticipate that this is going to be a good stream.
It's going to be a good stream once we get there.
Do you want to talk to them for 1 minute while I run to the restroom?
Yeah, definitely talk to you.
Hopefully you get it
Go
fixed.
ahead.
I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, that'll be another 60 seconds, and we'll know if it's fixed or not. If not, I'll have to do some more maintenance in here. Honestly, don't know what I'm going to do differently because I did everything I can do. So they are, it looks like, going to get accurate chip counts because when I restarted, we missed a hand and the chip counts got messed up. So that's what we're doing right now. He's going out there, so in about 5 minutes you're going to see him doing that. How did you guys end up as commentators here? So if you're talking about Eddie volunteered when I got here in August to help set up the stream and run it, and he just loved it so much he stayed on. All right. So, fingers crossed, guys. We're in the middle of a hand. Rick calls. Let's wait one hand to see what happens here. I'm going to do this and this. All right, now we're waiting this one hand to see if anything changes. Similar to the last time, this is frozen still. All right, well that's horrible news for us. Because everything is looking so good on the other side. All right, I'm gonna turn off this delay, yes. And exit out of here. And you guys can still hear me. We've got the same blue screen. Poker server. It did not work. It did the same thing. What I'm going to have to do